Hello, friends. It's Molk, and I am back. This is the TV Bingebox podcast. I'm your host, Steve Molk, and I love television. It is great to be chatting with you this week. I've got 3 massive shows. I was hoping to have 4, but the screeners didn't come out for one of them. I'm deeply disappointed, but ideally, I'll get to talk to you about it next week. I have 3 big shows and another one of my best or faves from 2022. I'm just looking forward to sharing with you what they are and what I think of them. It's great to have you on board. It's great to have you here for the TV Binge Box. Don't forget, you can stay connected to everything that is happening in TV Black Box, TV Binge Box, and even my little old world by going to my link tree. That's linktr.ee/Steve Molk. And you'll be able to get across every single part of those things and the stuff that's happening, the TV Black Box podcast, all of the great stuff that's happening. And by the way, fans of the old TV Binge Box will be pleased to know that Dan Bennett pops up on this week's TV Black Box because this guy was not available. Great work from Dan, telling it like it is in the midst of some pretty crazy stuff. It was great. I really enjoy it. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast. That really helps people find what's going on and who we are. And of course, it pops up in the rankings and all of that great important stuff that I really don't understand or frankly have too much time for. Oof. But if you review, here's a chance for you to sample the kinds of reviews that can offer. There are 2 that I want to bring to your attention. One is from Jessup, and they said, "Well done, Molk. Great to have you back." It's titled, "Well done, Molk. Solo podcasts are hard. Great to have you back. Love listening to you. Hey, don't go changing." Thanks, Jessup. And also from Munchy Baby, "Love this podcast" is the title. Both of them 5 stars, by the way, which is how you do a review. In my understanding, you 5-star and then you say all the great things. Anyway, Munchy Baby says, "Love this podcast. Really miss the old incarnation. Great to see it back." I miss the old incarnation too. I miss my old friends. And I hope to have them on soon. I just know that they're all very busy people and they've got heaps on. So you know what's happening. TV Binge Box, we're here to talk about television. I'd love to have your views on both the stuff that you're loving and watching, the stuff that you're loving and hating. Quick reality touch base. Survivor is doing huge business and I'm loving it. Sick Australian Survivor, the current season. This season of MAFS is off the charts crazy. And we don't quite have, or at least yet, the same trauma as the Dom and Olivia OnlyFans debacle of 2022. But I mean, if you line up Adam and Shannon and Harrison and put them all in a bag with a lion and tie it up and throw it in the river, I don't think anybody'd miss them. You be the judge. It's great that Rock Quiz is back. I hope that you're catching it. I'm absolutely loving it. Sick. And yeah, this Gogglebox is back. There's a whole bunch of television. I would have loved to talk about Gogglebox, and I might do it in a sort of review context. But of course, they only really deliver the episodes to Foxtel and to Channel 10 on like the Tuesday. So they're working hard to try and keep it current. So it's difficult for previews to be made available to people like me. Anyway, I've talked too much. It's time to talk about our first show, which, I mean, you be the judge.
Attention Australia, we would like to apologise to MasterChef, Love Island, The Bachelor.
I feel like we have so much in common. Will you please accept this rose? Katrina, Karina, Karen, Candle. It's Caroline. It's Caroline. Caroline. I just get confused because there are so many of them and they are all personal trainers.
The biggest new comedy in decades. We interrupt this broadcast soon on 7 and 7+.
It's a bold move when you introduce your new sketch comedy show as the biggest comedy show in decades. Look, this is We Interrupt This Broadcast. It is new sketch comedy coming to the 7 Network at 7:30 on Tuesday night. Now, I want to say, first of all, primetime sketch comedy, thank you. Thank you for having a go. Thank you for putting it up so that we can all appreciate it and that is in a primetime opportunity for people to be able to check it out. I think I really liked it. I've only seen the first episode. That's all that's been made available on preview. I think I really liked it. I will say that the first episode was really patchy. Now, I want to say that sketch comedy is really patchy at the best of times. There are segments and sketches that you go, that was not great. And there are parts you go, I really resonate with that. Ha ha, very funny. Congratulations. Well done, everyone. And everywhere in between. And I think that this is where We Interrupt This Broadcast is going to land. somewhere in between, at least for the first episode. The sad part is, for all television, people have a really low tolerance for giving shows a go. So allowing a show like this to breathe and grow is necessary as the writers and the comedians respond to how we respond to them. I don't believe it's all in the can. I think they have been working on a whole bunch of stuff, but they're also trying to be current-ish and write stuff so that it's not all completely locked away. I mean, that said, when you're thrust into a writing room and a comedic sketch environment, it's going to get better as you learn each other's measure and you write stuff and you perform stuff and you do those sorts of things and you find, oh, this person does this character really great. So we can put a run on those kinds of lines or those kinds of things. That's great. What we are seeing on We Interrupt This broadcast is TV parodies at 20 paces. There are bad wigs and bad accents all over the place. And it's more than just the core cast, though they are the critical center of this. There are lots of other great comedic performances popping up all the way through, well, I would assume the season, but certainly just this first episode. And I think that's good. It adds some weight and you get to see some great performers do some really funny things and you get to see some people go, oh, I didn't think that you should do that again. There was way too much canned laughter. And for those that are old enough to remember what fast forward was like, I think it was a simpler time, and to have a whole bunch of canned laughter worked. It's 2023 and we don't need you to tell me where the punchline is. The punchline should deliver itself. It should be obvious for us to find it. Turn the canned laughter off Channel 7, please. It really detracted from what I think could allow We Interrupt This broadcast to grow. Now, that might be part of the intention. It's television comedy and there's canned laughter and stuff. Well, it was really bad. There are some good performances and there is some good writing in it that I saw in that first ep, and I look forward to it improving and getting better across the season, as I said before. As an example, I thought that the From the Archives / Play School sketch was really smart. It's really funny and sharp and offers some great, skewed take on what it was like back in the black and white era in Australia for television and those sorts of things. Of course, it's not factually accurate. It's comedy. Get over yourselves. But it was really funny and it was really good and some great performances in it. I did not like Lip Island, which is their rip-off of Love Island Australia. Now, I don't like Love Island Australia to start with. I don't like the Love Island franchise. I did not like Lip Island. I did not think it was funny. I did not think there was anything that was remotely attractive or interesting about it. But you will disagree or may disagree with me, and that's great. So that's the benefit of sketch comedy, is in the middle of the show, you can go, Mock, you're stupid. The Play School sketch was horrible, but the Lip Island sketch was great. Fill your boots. This is another production from Helium Pictures, Mark Fennessy's production company. And that's really good, I think. Remember that Helium is the group that made Last King of the Cross. So that's a sign that there's more money being poured into Australian television, Australian sketch comedy. And that's good. As I said, there are performers that pop up across it. We got to see Virginia Gay in this episode, and she does a brilliant take on Antiques Roadshow. I thought her performance was divine, particularly the mirror. When you get there, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was pretty bloody funny, and she plays it, I think, note perfect for that character. Also in the cast, a full-time cast, we see Christie, Whelan, Browne and Bridie O'Connell, and they are brilliant comedic performers, and I think they do an excellent job in this. Same with people like, as in other members of the cast, Michelle Brasier is really funny and did a great job. Adele Vuko is good. Duncan Fellows, Greg Larsen is hilarious, and in this first episode, not given real opportunity to do too much. If only there was Mr. Oily, but that's a throwback to Nightly. Ben Russell and Bjorn Stewart also pop up as well, and that's great. And I think there's some really excellent old comedic hands, as much as there are new faces that people may not recognize. Recognized English. God, Mog. We Interrupt This broadcast is going to be, I think it's 10 episodes. Well, we hope it's 10 episodes weekly. And it starts Tuesday, the 28th of February at 7:30 p.m. on your Channel 7s. And I recommend it to you. I think it's one of those things that I think we need to watch it. We need to support it. Now, up front, I'm going to say it's going to get blown away by maths. There is no question. Nothing is touching maths. Can it beat Survivor? That's the real question for Channel 7. I hold a little bit of hope, but not heaps. I enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing more. I think I liked it. we interrupt this broadcast. Let's get on to the next show.
Hello. Can I help you?
We work for the most successful mobile game studio in Los Angeles. But suddenly, our CEO is gone. And then he arrived.
So, who's the suit?
He's a consultant.
Good morning, comrades. My job is to observe, to streamline, to improve. For those who work remotely, you have 1 hour to get here or you'll be terminated.
He's firing Ian. Says he doesn't like the way he smells.
Bow your heads and pray for him.
How are you enjoying the gaming industry?
How many of these patrons do you think we could fight? I think I could fight 4 of them, and you could subdue the remaining 3.
Excuse me? There's literally nothing online about it.
Some other CEO hired Patoff, and he was killed 2 weeks later.
What if he's more than just a consultant?
What the hell? Stop the car!
You're breathing too fast. Now breathe with me. In, out.
We work for a sociopath.
Some excel under stress.
Maybe he's just really good at his job.
Some break.
This guy, he's not who he pretends to be.
I won't be here forever. I'm only the consultant.
The Consultant stars Christoph Waltz, as you will have seen from that trailer or heard, as a character called Regis Patoff, who is hired to improve the business at an app-based gaming company called Compware after, or as it turns out, probably just before, the CEO is brutally murdered. And it's gobsmacking, just even that first 3 minutes, let alone the rest of it. And in him coming in, employees experience new demands and challenges that pulled everything that they understand about their employment into question, including their lives. Now, this is based on Bentley Little's 2015 novel of the same name. It surprised the living hell out of me. I mean, I love Christoph Waltz. I think he's a phenomenal performer, and even like the way the guy lights a cigarette is an acting lesson. It is pretty bloody great. But this just kind of snuck up on me. I thought I'll give it a watch and share with you. Who knows where this could land? Oh my God, it's great. It's so good. And I think part of the reason why this is so gobsmacking is that it's a great tale, told incredibly well, twisted, comedic, thriller, suspenseful, and it looks at something we can all relate to, this nature of employee-employer. And it's 30-minute episodes. It's bang. There is not a wasted moment in this. I think there are probably some things that sit a bit deeply and you kind of get lulled into this false sense of security of like, oh, well, that's okay. No, it's not okay. Nothing is okay about The Consultant. And that's, I think, it's surprises, weird things, twists, surprises. And all of it hooked around the way that Regis Patoff plays with the minds of the employees of Compware, and particularly two central characters, but really all of them, and what that looks like for their long-term survival. Quite frankly, it just spirals out of control, and it was a next moment. I just had to keep watching. Give me the next episode, and I will share, because I not that I know I wouldn't spoil it for anybody. I haven't watched the last episode because I just want to be completely distraction-free and focus my full 30 minutes of time on that episode, because sweet, merciful crap, I know it's going to be great. Cannot wait to catch it. But I've seen the first 7. You should rush out, book out 4 hours of your life. And it's easy to watch it too. You can kind of let it wash over you and just be deep in it and get involved in the world of The Consultant. It is intriguing. It is deceptive. It is devious. It is 100% twisty. Nothing about Regis Padoff is what it seems. Stars Christoph Waltz, Nat Wolff, Brittany O'Grady, and Aimee Carrero, and it is all 8 episodes are available right now on Prime Video. Run, don't walk. Go and see The Consultant. It's great. So very great. I love this next one.
Put it in. I'm tired of people thinking I'm some kind of joke.
Your dad and I agreed it would be best if you just stop being who you are and doing the things you love.
My whole life, all I wanted.
I'm afraid we found your son at a polka party.
Is to make up new words to a song that already exists.
Oh, well, you should do that then.
Ooh, my little hungry one, open up a package of my banana.
Dude, I've got chills.
Every once in a great while, I can spot a talent that I know is the future of music. But first, we gotta find you a stage name. Al Yankovic. It's long, it's hard to pronounce. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. Weird Al Yankovic. I love it.
Weird Al has taken the world by storm.
Do I know you?
Madonna, I was wondering if you were going to do a parody of my song, Like a Virgin.
I'm curious, is that song autobiographical?
Yes. Except for the fact that I've had a lot of sex.
Name me one creative genius that doesn't have a checkered past involving alcohol,
That's the medicine.
and drugs.
I think Madonna's a bad influence on you. What? No offense. I'm a train wreck. My parents wrote me off. I pushed away my band. You're all just a bunch of normals. I'm the weird one. You gotta take care of yourself.
I saw in you something special. An artist who has something to give to the world.
In front of all the billions of people watching around the world right now, all I want to say is be as weird as you want to be. You will never find true happiness, so you can truly accept who you are. Thank you.
Oh, Al, you can't smoke in here.
I totally deserve that.
Your father and I have decided that you should stop being who you are. It's just, look, Weird, the Al Yankovic story, is everything that you would expect if you're a Weird Al fan, and so much more. It is stupid fun, plus, and delightful and hilarious. It's so stupid. Oh my God, it's so stupid. This movie is not for everyone. There are lots of people that will look at it and go, that's not how that actually happened. Sure. There will be lots of people that go, that's just dumb. Sure. I'm a Weird Al fan, and not just like the parodies that we saw talked about in that clip, or even sort of broadly, Eat It, Fat, Amish Paradise. I mean, you name it. There's a whole bunch of them. It's some of the deep cuts, the originals. Weird Al's touring real soon, and I've got tickets, and I'm so stoked. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go and see him live, because it is that he's doing all the deep cuts, all of his originals and those sorts of things. Oh God, the saga begins. His rip-off of American Pie to tell the story of the Phantom Menace. So good. This is the same kind of thing. So for me, and I think for Weird Al fans, this movie is a near spiritual experience. Nobody else will understand the lure of the polka. I mean, in it, it's all here. Al's dysfunctional relationship with Madonna, his completely original song, Eat It, that was parodied by Michael Jackson, Al's mission to kill Pablo Escobar, his love for Hawaiian shirts and the accordion, all of this before his untimely death in 1985. Now you know. Now you know. It's magical. Oh, it's so good. I really loved it. And not just for how ripped does Daniel Radcliffe look as Al Yankovic? Holy shit. Like, what? They must have talked that you needed to have your shirt off a bit. And he did some chest thingies and pushes and ups and stuff. Daniel Radcliffe is great as Al Yankovic. Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento. Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna, the love of Weird Al's life. Jack Black is in there. Will Forte is in there. Dot Marie Jones. There is a list. Patton Oswalt. A whole list of American funny people. Scott Aukerman play different roles. Some of them just walk-ons and moments, but some of them also play out in bigger situations. And Al Yankovic stars in his own movie that he co-wrote with the director. Everything about Weird, the Al Yankovic story, is so great. And I want you to just get into it and love every second of it the way I did. You may not. You might think, Mulk, what are you even talking about? You don't know what you're doing. And that's fine. I loved Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and there's no one that can tell me any different. It premieres this Thursday, the 2nd of March on Paramount Plus. Finally, it lands in Australia after being told by the great Weird Al Yankovic himself to Australia to just get it any way you can. I held back. I knew someone would get it. It'll be on Paramount Plus this Thursday. And now on to my final show, one of my best or faves of 2022.
I know most people don't think about us up there in the mountains. Many of my patients are miners. It's dangerous work, and they carry the burden of building this nation on their backs. They're in pain. These people, my people, trusted me. I can't believe how many of them are dead now.
We've begun looking at something that could be big.
OxyContin.
Purdue Pharma, they've been marketing the drug as something that's not addictive, when it clearly is.
All your doctors are going to be asking, how is this even possible? Your most effective talking point are these magic words.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
They told me that less than 1% would become addicted.
If OxyContin does what I think it can, it could soon become Purdue's first billion-dollar drug.
Purdue continues to lie about the drug's safety to doctors, to patients, and the FDA. We have a major case here.
Addiction rates, overdoses, and crime are on the rise across the country because of this drug.
I think maybe the medicine might be just a tad more addictive than you said.
I can't live like this anymore.
Our community is ground zero for a national catastrophe.
Purdue will not move unless we punch hard.
This is not our fault. These people want to be addicted.
I want top executives to feel some pain.
It's crucial they understand we've created the greatest painkiller in the history of human civilization. I think I can make this the biggest drug in the world.
I came away from watching Dope Sick just feeling sick. It was a gobsmacking indictment on the pharmaceutical industry, not just in America, across the world, but absolutely in its impact in America. Dope Sick is, again, another one that for me was one of my faves, one of my best of for 2022, that again kind of popped out of nowhere. It focuses on the epicenter of America's struggle with the opioid addiction across America and how individuals and families were transformed not for the better by it, and of the alleged conflicts of interest involving the makers, Purdue Pharma, and the various government agencies such as the Food and Drug Administration and the Department of Justice, and finally, the legal case against Purdue on the development of OxyContin and the testing and the marketing of that drug. It was just amazing. Now, it's based in fact. However, lots of the characters are mashes of a number of different people, just to aid with the storytelling. However, a couple of central characters the DA, one of the salesmen, and the Sackler family are all played like that is who they are. That is what was, on record about who those people are and those sorts of things. And in fact, mate, the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma are pieces of shit. They pushed a drug that was highly addictive on the world, but certainly onto America, and told patients and their doctors, less than 1% are suffering from addiction. Opioids are addictives. Opioids ruin lives. And OxyContin did exactly that in so many people's situations. And we see it outlined, not just in some of the patients of the central character, Dr. Phoenix, played by Michael Keaton, but a whole bunch of different people across the board. And the way that it just, yes, it eased their pain for a time. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And, sweet, merciful crap. Michael Stuhlbarg plays Richard Sackler, who you may have seen in that. He's also in Your Honor at the moment and playing on Disney Plus as well. He's perfect as the conniving Richard Sackler, who is using OxyContin to raise his position within the family business and even within the politics of the family. And you watch those conversations over dinner about how this family that owns Purdue wants to shape it and how they jockey for position at the cost of each other. And you just look at them and the way that they have complete disregard for anybody but the money that they can earn. And it is those just fuckheads. Honestly, it is horrific. Amazing performance by Stuhlbarg and the others to show us the Sacklers in their glorious horrendousness. It just made my skin crawl when they were on screen, given the counterpoint arguments that we were seeing of how OxyContin ruined people's lives. Just amazing. Michael Keaton was absolutely another standout, as was from the cast, Caitlin Dever, who plays one of his patients, we follow her addiction story. But Keaton as the Dr. Phoenix, I was just mesmerized. Like, please, more of Michael Keaton, the rise of Michael Keaton in the return of his career. Please, more of him. He was brilliant. Can't wait to see him as Batman. Independent of the film he's going to be in, can't wait to see him as Batman again. Keaton won every award, bar one, that he was nominated for in 2022 for this role. He won an Emmy, he won a Golden Globe, he won a SAG Award, he won the Hollywood Critics Association Award for Best Actor, he won Critics' Choice, completely deservedly so. He smashes this out of the park, and every time he is on screen, you are just transfixed to his journey and to his process in telling the tale of Dopesick. It's amazing. Joining Keaton is Peter Sarsgaard, Michael Stuhlbarg, as I said before, Caitlin Dever, as I said before, Rosario Dawson, a whole bunch of other great actors. This is one that you don't binge. This is one that you watch the first episode, maybe the second, and sit on it for a couple of days at least, even a week if you can, and just let the horrendousness watch over you. Let the incredible hope that was offered and then pulled away from so many people, let it sit with you. I challenge you to think of the Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family in a way separate to the way that I just expressed my views on them, simply out of this portrayal and the stuff that they've done around OxyContin and the way they affected and ruined so many people's lives. I'm just so angry about it, rethinking about it. But I loved this performance. I loved this series. All 8 episodes of Dopesick is available right now on Disney Plus, and you will not want to miss a minute. Put it aside, put it in your list. It's so good. So good. Friends, that's another week of TV Bingebox. I'm glad that you could join me. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget, you can catch up on everything that's happening with both this and everything else. All of my information is at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Steve Malk. Catch all the links there. That's where all my social stuff is, as well as everything else that you can be a part of. Big shout out to the group of the TV Bingebox podcast gang Facebook group. Loving hearing the stuff that you're sharing about, including, I think it was Matt Goodyear's conversation about Australian Idol and how much he's loving it. I'm not, but he's loving it. But also that there's stuff coming up in the depth and breadth of that. Oh, I've just given you so much TV to watch. let me know. Hit me up directly or tell us in the Podcast Gang group the stuff that you're enjoying and the things that you want to be a part of, the things that you want to share, the things that you're loving, or the things that you want to warn people about, because that's the joyous time in television right now. There's so much. And what I say, you might really agree with, but there's other people too that have opinions and you might enjoy them as well. That's the TV Binge Box for another week. I'm wrapping it up and closing it out. Thank you for being a part of it. Thanks for tuning in. I have been your host, Steve Mogg, and goodness gracious, I just love television.